Brad Benson to our microphones. How you doing, Brad?
Very good, Alan.
Thank you very much. Brad served as offensive lineman for the Giants from 78 to 88. Played a pivotal role in defeating Denver, by the way, in Super Bowl in 86. You got the fourth largest Hyundai. That's why it always throws me. Hyundai, right? Dealer in the U.S. and the number one dealer in Jersey. You were at South Brunswick, right?
That's correct, Alan. But I have to correct you, and I'm sorry for doing this, but we're the number two dealer.
The number two dealer? What happened?
We're getting better.
That's because you're giving too many cars away. That's the problem. So look, what happened with this? You do these really interesting commercials, and you offered a car to Saddam Hussein a number of years ago if he would, get out of Iraq. That didn't work out too well for Saddam. Tell me the genesis of what happened with this pastor, Terry Jones.
Well, it was interesting. We were running kind of a series of commercials, and we were calling it we were giving idiot awards away for people that would do silly things like, case in point, trying to burn the Kuran. Right. And so we decided to give this gentleman an award, our Idiot of the Week award. Little did we know that there was somebody from his congregation driving through New Jersey that happened to hear the ad.
You didn't think you'd get called on it, right?
I didn't think I would get called on it. No, I didn't, Alan.
So what happened? The guy then went and told the pastor that you'd offer him a free car if he would only stop burning or not burn the Koran?
He did. At that point in time, I still thought it was a hoax. I put my advertising agency on it and said, listen, I want you to call this fella and tell him that the only way this car was going to be given was if the pastor himself came up. And while he was at it, to make sure this is legitimate, have him fax over a copy of his driver's license. And lo and behold, it was the pastor himself.
Now, wasn't the idea that this was going to be a loaner for a year?
The initial idea was it was going to be a loaner car for a year.
Right.
But having thought better of it and having to be involved with our own insurance policy, if it was going to be a loaner or a lease car for a year, we've decided we're just going to part ways with the car and give him the car for the year.
What made you decide to do it that way?
I was just concerned a little bit. We understand that there have been some security issues with him ever since he had originally announced his intentions to burn the Koran. So I just thought it was better if I cut ties with the car and just let him have it.
Now, he claims he didn't stop himself from burning the Koran because of this, that he only found out about this after September 11th, the date he was going to do this. Do you believe that?
Oh, I hope it wasn't simply our car that made him. I would hope that calls from our president would have more influence on him than my simply giving him a Hyundai and his decision not to burn the Koran.
But do you believe him when he says that had nothing to do with it?
I'm sure. It had nothing to do with it.
So has he come to pick up the car yet?
No, we are making arrangements with him. We hope to have him at our dealership in the latter part of this week. We're actually going to announce that on Monday, the giving of the car to this gentleman, and he's supposed to be in our dealership probably in the latter part of next week.
How much is this killing you that you have to do this?
Well, it's not really killing me. I just hope that he puts the car to good use, as he says he's going to. He says that he's going to give this car to an organization that helps battered Muslim women. So I hope that comes to pass.
What were you trying in some way not to have to do this, and what were your other options?
Well, I didn't have a lot of options, Alan. We were really concerned with public opinion on this, so we got ourselves a 1-800 number, put it out there, and gave the people in the tri-state area here an opportunity to vote. And out of 3,500 phone calls in the last few days, I mean, it's apparent. Everybody, even though they might not agree with the pastor, they might not agree with what he's done, they still feel, as an auto retailer, I made the offer. I should stand up and live up to my obligation and give the man his car. I mean, almost to every call.
And, so that's what you're going to do. But is the business you might get as a result of the publicity going to compensate for the cost of the car?
I would think so. I would think it would.
Yeah.
But more importantly, I mean, it does put a certain spotlight on the dealership. We've been through this before. We don't do these commercials strictly for notoriety. It's just our style.
Are you going to do any more of these? Because you might get, Saddam Hussein probably wasn't going to take you up on it, but I mean, will you stop doing this now that someone called you on it?
No, absolutely not. No, there will be a new idiot of the week next week.
Who's the next idiot? Can you tell us?
I don't know. I've been a little distracted, I have to admit.
Well, you'll get some publicity when the pastor shows up, I'm sure.
I am sure. I am sure we will.
And, Brad, I appreciate your talking to us tonight. Thank you so much for your time, sir.
Thank you, Al.
And by the way, just let me say it's what? BradBensonAutogroup.com for people who want to find out about your dealership.